When you think about we've got the trade market, then you also have the free agent market. And you talked with us a minute ago, just saying how you and Brandon kind of go back and forth as to which you're focusing on for the day. Do you feel like there's more value in one or the other, or where do you see kind of a lot of the moves coming for this team this year going to be from which market?
It's hard to say. I think lining up on a deal is hard enough, that having more options is only helpful. There are a number of talented pitchers on the trade market, number of talented pitchers on the free agent market as well. So it's about having those conversations and doing everything we can to be in a position to add pitching depth. And whether that's through the trade market or free agent market, we're not sure yet. But it's hard enough that having as many options is a good thing.
We've talked about just the focus of pitching, and that obviously is a focus essentially every year. But from the position player side, is there anything in specific that you all are looking to add to this group?
Yeah, I think the versatility of this group allows for it to play out in different ways. I think we need to figure out what we're going to do in the outfield, how that ties into Mookie a little bit. We missed Lux a lot last year. Getting him back will be big. Obviously coming off a big injury, so just being mindful of that. But having Miggy Rowe is really helpful with that. And so, obviously last year in the regular season, our offense was elite. So it's how to maintain a really high level. And we can do that through a couple different profiles of offensive players. And that's what we're spending a lot of time on right now.
When you are approaching just the market and even this off season, but you do have such a large group of young talent coming up, what does that balance look like from your standpoint?
Definitely more art than science. It's tricky. We've talked about it over the years. I think being a really competitive team and having visions of sustaining that for as far as we can see out, it is imperative to incorporate young players into that mix to be able to grow with, and it just helps with sustainability. But it's also tough when you're looking to compete in that year, whereas other teams will go through a period of success, fall off the side of the mountain, try to build back up, which then provides opportunity for their young players. We're trying to do that on the fly, which makes it harder. And obviously last year we carved that role out for Miguel Vargas. Believes so strongly in his natural ability to hit. Obviously it was a struggle for him. I think when we look back 3-4 years from now, that struggle that he experienced in 23 will actually have been a good thing. So it's how to provide some opportunity to him. Michael Busch, who proved that he's a major league player and did everything you could possibly do in AAA. So it's how to balance that with our existing group, who we may bring in from the outside, and how that all fits together is part of the challenge this offseason.
Now, I know we can't go into specifics, but of course, every Dodger fan, and probably I think any fan in general, wants to see Shohei Ohtani in a Dodgers uniform. Again, I know we can't talk about that, but when it comes to, a player at his caliber and also with his price ticket, how do you manage just kind of understanding you obviously are approaching so many other players as well, different positions, and kind of managing when you do have someone who is such a high big ticket price, but then also kind of having is it a plan A, plan B, plan C type situation, or can you kind of just take us into what that part of your world looks like?
Yeah, we may need a whiteboard.
So break it down.
But first and foremost, we could not be more fortunate with our ownership group. And the pressure and responsibility they feel to put the best team on the field every year for our fans is incredible, and that support, which allows us to examine everything. And with that, it creates more options. So we need a bigger whiteboard. Yeah. But it's no different than every offseason. We have to, have priorities of players that we're targeting, and then understanding that if we get that player, what path does it close? What path does it open? And kind of a beautiful mind document of stuff everywhere of yes, this, no, that, and just what stems from that. And so it's a lot of conversations and understanding the market as best we can for when a domino falls, to appreciate and understand what that means and be in position to be aggressive to try to continue down that path.
Well, with the winter meetings coming up, do you feel like a lot of moves will be happening these upcoming few days, or do you feel like kind of just through this next month and a half per se, you'll be seeing a little bit more movement?
It's a tough question to answer. It feels like a lot of things are coming to a head right now, and when that dam bursts is hard to say. It very well could be in Nashville, or it could be the days and weeks after that. It does feel like there's a lot of momentum right now on a lot of fronts, where things will start to happen.